So next we have Scorpio. We have about 10 pages left to cover. Well, 12 to be exact. But let us get started. So the celestial sign Scorpio, October 23rd to November 21st, is the 8th sign of the zodiac, a fixed and watery sign. All persons born with the sun in this sign are firm, dignified, controlled, reserved, tenacious, and magnetic. They are tactful, discreet, and cautious. They love approval and appreciate encouragement. Excuse me, sorry. This sign has concealed within it more power than most of the signs. This causes the Scorpio person to be very shrewd and cunning when not morally developed, and to exhibit intense passion and jealousy. Thus he or she is likely to be exacting, suspicious, and mistrustful. Of the three types, those born between October 23rd and the end of the month are very susceptible to the influence of those around them. They are not talkative, often shy and bashful, but their nature changes considerably on reaching middle age. Those born in the period from November 1st to 10th, inclusive, are more talkative. They may place too much reliance upon the spoken words of others, and suffer in consequence through deception of misplaced confidence. They are hospitable and kind. Those born in the period from November 10th to 20th are very tenacious, determined, and ambitious. They love public gatherings and society, but are also fond of home and company. So all of these signs also have their own three different characteristics. Okay, so for Scorpio, there was the three, okay, which would okay, so each zodiac sign has three different like houses. Okay, like he is saying, from those born from the period from November 10th to 20th. Okay, that's 10 days. 10 days within this month, and the what is this word I'm looking for? Like this group, you know, that the final group of the three. Okay, this will be a little bit easier for me to explain it this way. So here is Scorpio. Okay, all of these are Scorpio, and these are the three. Okay, all three of these are Scorpio. Okay, and Scorpio was born between October 23rd to November 21st. Okay, so let's say this live rock is from October 23rd, and then this dream rock is to November 21st. So the live rock, which was the first of the signs, is those born between October 23rd and the end of the month. Okay, so 10 days, are very susceptible to the influence of those around them. They are not talkative, often shy and bashful. Okay, now the laugh rock, which is the middle Scorpio. Okay, those born in the period from November 1st to 10th, okay, another 10 days, inclusive, are more talkative. They may place too much reliance upon the spoken words of others, and suffer in consequence through deception of misplaced confidence. So the first group of Scorpios aren't very talkative, okay, and they are shy. Okay, the second group of Scorpios are very talkative. They're not very shy, but they put a lot of their trust into the words that come out from others. Okay, they put a lot of their trust into others. And then lastly, we have the third house of Scorpios, which will be this dream rock, and those born under this period from November 10th to the 20th, another 10 days, are very tenacious, determined, and ambitious. Alright, I think we handled that pretty good, didn't we? Those born with the sun in Scorpio are strong characters, and when they overcome pride and jealousy, their power for good in the world is enormous. As they develop, they become more intuitive. They have strong constitutions, yet have great internal force and recuperative power. They also possess intuitive medical knowledge. Financially, they succeed by their keen penetration and power to adapt themselves to their environment. They always do well in life, possessing the willpower and determination to rise in the world. Marriage is very important for them, and always beneficial, as they have remarkable powers of attachment and make excellent parents. Sagittarius. Okay, now we're covering Sagittarius. Sagittarius, covering the period from November 21st to December 20th, is the 9th sign of the zodiac, a fiery and mutable sign. All persons born in this sign are hopeful, bright, and impressionable, with an instinct for prophecy. They are active, enterprising, loyal, expressive, and giving to the demonstration of affection. They are lovers of liberty and believers in freedom of speech, and none know so well how to find the weakest part in another's armor as do Sagittarius people. Nevertheless, they are straightforward, independent, philosophical, and religious in thought and principle. Of the three types, those born between November 21st and the end of the month are very blunt and outspoken, and unwilling to submit to any restraint or control. They are fond of science and the practical side of life, taking much interest in details and minute particulars. Those born between December 1st and 10th are passionate, generous, open and free, fond of argument, high-minded and independent, possessing a love of religious and philosophical studies. Those born between the 10th and the 20th are more self-willed and at times independent and indifferent, fond of combat and militant in spirit, with a penetrative mind and ready wit. The mental side of life appeals greatly to the Sagittarian, who is always more or less philosophical, though sympathetic. The nature of these persons is hopeful and joyous even in advanced years, and although sometimes disturbed, their disposition is generally calm. They are simple in their mode of life, and above all things delight in independence, and will sacrifice everything rather than being under restraint. They fret exceedingly in unsympathetic natures or surroundings. They are watchful and distrustful of others, even of themselves, which sometimes leads to deception whilst trying to avoid it. They love truth, peace, and justice. They are complex and difficult to gauge, and fond of theology and spiritual subjects, but inclined to be a visionary. Now moving over to Capricorn. The celestial sign Capricorn from December 21st to January 19th is the 10th sign of the zodiac, a cardinal and earthly sign. All persons born under the sun is in this sign are ambitious and fond of building high ideals of physical splendor and perfections. They are economists, thrifty, preserving, reserved, diplomatic, and profound. They are industrious, painstaking, slow, and cautious, rarely proud or too independent, but having, nevertheless, a fair amount of self-confidence. They are rarely demonstrative or fond of display, and generally are sincere and plain outspoken. The character of those born under Capricorn is very decided. Their mentality manifests as studiousness, carefulness, thoughtfulness, ability for scientific research, reflection, and meditation. The health and constitution of those born under the Capricorn influence are affected primarily by the sun, which is the life-giver. This sign is the retentive sign, and enables those who are born under its influence to cling to physical life as long as it is possible, and they usually live much longer than those born under any other sign, often reaching the age of 90 to 100 years, and at the same time preserving all the faculties and senses to the end. All persons fully under its influence are ambitious, careful, thoughtful, prudent, reserved, energetic, preserving, powerful, and enduring. Now that's my dad's sign, and that is definitely something that explains a lot about him. That man amazes me. Now next, moving into Aquarius. Yay! Aquarius. Now this is my sign. So let's see what it says about us. The celestial sign Aquarius, January 20th to February 18th, is the 11th sign of the zodiac, a fixed, airy sign. All persons with the sun in this sign are difficult to understand. yeah, sometimes I fail to understand myself. They are quiet, unobtrusive, patient, faithful, humane, and kind. They love nature, music, art, and literature, the intellectual and refined side of life appealing to their humanitarian sense of equality. They are intuitive, honest, and well-meaning, of a studious and thoughtful nature, bent upon fathoming the mysteries of nature. Yeah, brings me back to a time when my cousin, he actually told me, like why are you always searching for a reason for things or an answer to everything? And it's just, I don't know, it's what interests us, you know? This sign belongs to the airy triplicity, hence is concerned with the mental region of the zodiac. Humanity has not reached that stage when all the qualities that are to be made manifest to the sign Aquarius can be developed. There are very few who completely express the individual characteristics of this sign in this present day, but those who have evolved to where they can express their individual nature are very determined, patient, quiet, and faithful persons. They are philosophical, humanitarian, and exceedingly refined, and they make excellent researchers and scientific writers. Mentally, they are cautious, steady, intelligent, discriminative, concentrative, studious, and thoughtful, and when they give their minds to study, they can extract more from a subject than any of the other airy signs. There is a tendency for them to live more mentally than physically, and everything belonging to the mental world appeals to them. They usually have a strong, healthy constitution, but if they become too concentrative or follow a sedentary life, then there is a danger of trouble arising from the defective circulation. They succeed best as artists, designers, musicians, inventors, electricians, writers, and in any employment where steady, faithful, concentrated work is necessary. The planet Saturn is their ruler, but it is the metaphysical side of Saturn which governs the contemplative and meditative qualities. Saturn and Uranus. All persons, and it says we are ruled by the metaphysical side of Saturn. And all persons under the Aquarian influence are more or less excellent students of human nature, and their quiet, silent, thoughtful manner always inspires confidence when they are understood by those with whom they come in contact. And now we have the next sign Pisces. My best friend is a Pisces. The celestial sign Pisces, from February 19th to March 20th, is the last sign of the zodiac, a mutable, watery sign. All persons born with the sun in this sign are very receptive, mediumistic, and impressionable. They are not determined nor positive, but persistent, persuasive, and emotional. They are very patient and do not willingly complain. They are imitative, peaceful, sympathetic, and generous. In this sign there are to be found two extremes, but Pisces being a dual sign, these individuals often express both these opposite sides of their character, and hence are not easily understood. They are quiet, alert, and willing to take upon themselves any responsibility if it is to serve a good and useful purpose. This sign confers upon those under its influence a peculiar, intuitive, receptive condition, which enables them to internally sense and understand things in a totally different way from that of other signs. In character, Pisces people are somewhat over-restless and anxious, and there is a great deal of indecision, but they are able to sense the surrounding conditions and possess a kind of psychic tendency. The emotions are very strong and are likely to be very much affected by those with whom they come in contact. Mentally, they are changeable and imaginative, and are always more or less fond of romance, but they possess that peculiar understanding that is not acquired from actual learning. They seem to know things in a strange manner. They are rarely at a loss to explain conditions. They have often been termed, quote, walking encyclopedias, end quote. There is one special characteristic which is a distinctive feature of their sign, and that is that their hospitality and their great love of dumb animals. Physically, the constitution seems to be easily upset through worry and by being over-anxious and too restless. All those born under this month appear to be inspirational, and for the most part live in their feelings and emotions. Some of the noblest characters may be found in this sign. Yeah, some of the noblest characters. He is really great, and he wants nothing more than to have a really great character. That definitely sounds like him. And that is the end of this chapter for section 5 on celestial vibrations, and we're ending with a quote by James Russell Lowell, and it says, quote, "Get but the truth once uttered, and 'tis like a star, new born, that drops into its place, and which, once circling in its placid round, not all the tumult of the earth can shake." And that is by James Russell Lowell. Now that is the end of section 5. My throat feels a little bit dry, and it's 4:30. So what was that, a little bit more than an hour reading this chapter? Maybe like 40 minutes to an hour. But with all that being said, thank you for the end of this video. If you made it this far with me, thank you so much for watching and taking the time to learn this information with us. I know there's a lot to cover, and there's still tons to learn. You know, this is one of our connections that we're going to make, because we're in the middle of this circle. You know, it's like okay, and don't forget our daily affirmation that we are the lights of the world, you and me, and together we are going to make a difference in this world. And going back to how I was saying, okay, we're like in this circle, okay, and this circle is incomplete, okay, and this circle is a circle of information, okay, information, yay, and we are on a journey to finding information, because this is our journey of truth, you know, because there is one truth, just one truth, you know, and regardless of anyone's opinions of the truth, there's still that one specific thing that is true, you know, from which everything else extends from. And right now we are here in the middle of this incomplete circle, and this lovely piece of this circle right here, we can say, is this book, You, by Charles F. Haanel. Because we get to take all of this information that this man has put into this book for us to learn ourselves. You know, that is how evolution works. You know, people already found all of this information. The truth has already been found, and it's spread out around the world, around people, through people, and we have to go through people to see their ways of it, and also take in theirs and get all this information so we could put it in our way, you know, so we could take it in our way and understand that one basic truth which everybody is talking about, and we'll be able to understand it in our way, because we're all our own individuals and we all see things our own personal way. And with that being said, we are trying to connect these dots. So, all in all, like I said, thank you so much for watching, and we'll make it the end right here, and I'll see you on the other side of the galaxy, creator.